So you all know I pastored in Pleasantville, in Atlantic County, and there was a brother there by the name of Charles Goodman. He's actually the father of one of my big brothers in ministry. I call him a father by another brother. I love Brother Charles Goodman. Brother Charles Goodman, before he became our chair of trustees, he used to be my armor bearer, which means he used to drive me to the airport every week I had to go somewhere, and we enjoyed those trips to the airport. Now, the issue is, every time we had those drives, Charlie had a long list of things that he thought needed to be changed at Mount Zion. And it'd be 6 o'clock in the morning on our way to the airport, and he pulls out his list wanting to talk about Mount Zion. I want to sleep on the way to the airport, but he wants to talk about Mount Zion. I love Charlie. But Charlie and I, we also used to argue about which route to take. I love to take the Atlantic City Expressway because you can get to the airport in 45 minutes. He loved to take the Black Horse Pike, which took an hour and 15 minutes because the extra time allowed him to talk to me a little bit more. Every time we went to the airport, we argued about whether we were getting on the expressway or whether we were taking the turnpike, the Black Horse Pike. One time, I was on my way to Vegas too. You don't need to know what I was going to do in Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. I was on my way to Vegas, and we ran into some traffic on the Atlantic City Expressway. And he says, "You want to take the Pike now?" It was going to take, for some reason, 2 hours to get to the airport on the Atlantic City Expressway. And I said, "Charlie, you know I don't like taking the Black Horse Pike." I said, "Let's just give it another couple of minutes to see if the traffic will break, and then we can get to the airport semi on time." And Charlie says to me, "If we stay on your route, we'll get to the airport the way you want to get to the airport, but we won't get to the airport in time for you to make your flight." He says, "Francois, do you want to follow your route or do you want to get to Vegas?" I decided I want to get to Vegas. And maybe that's what God is asking us today. Do you want to get there on your route or do you want to make it there? I thank God for every alternative route that got me to the place where God wanted me to be. I thank God that God will reroute you in order to get you there. You didn't have the privilege of going to college, but thank God that God rerouted you. Relationship after relationship failed, but thank God for the reroute that got you there. Promotions failed, termination loomed, but thank God for the reroute. That day, am I talking to anybody that can say, I thank God for the reroutes that God used in order to get me where I was supposed to be? Do you want to get there based on your route, or do you want to get there